future, to be precise, has been based on resilience and sustainability. The onset of modern architecture and our blooming cities changed this operational framework, and a new age building badge in with a syntax of their own. The increasing urban population, lack of more great cities, and space crunch brought tall building into play. So much so that the arena of cosmopolitan cities has become synonymous with our high rise. With no option left, but newer cities will take their own time to match up with the existing ones. High rises are here to stay, so it is high time to look at innovation that will make them sustainable and resilient. Usually, modern architecture is touted to be resilient, and often it is flaunted as a USP. It is a time to add the quality to sustainability and design future-proof high-rises. Keeping this in mind, ACE Update is conducting an online interaction today on making high-rises future-proof.
My very first question is to you, Ms. Rupali. Nikhil asks, if Delhi, Noida and Greater Noida are suited in seismic zones rather than going vertically upwards, is going underground like Singapore an option, or will it be a futile exercise?
See, here we need to check parallelly for the high-rise as well as underground solution. It is not possible to go only high-rise or underground because it's being a seismic zone. For the support system, we definitely need to see a better solution.
Nikhil again asks that if high-rise is a solution, but what we conveniently forget is the space we require to breathe. Many developers openly flaunt such norms by building high-rises in dense areas. What can be done to resolve this issue? Can you elaborate?
In every development here, single development is happening. So automatically, all societies are going upward, and it is becoming more dense and crowded cities. So here we suggest a cluster development should be preferred, so that with the cluster development we can add more green spaces or recreational spaces.
Right. Thanks, Rupali. Someone also requests Mr. Rajesh to elaborate on the GIS Satellite System.
Right now, ISRO and our Urban Ministry is trying to have a joint mission that they are trying to find out how much of construction waste have been deposited. This is quite possible also, and they are working on it. In another couple of years, whether we can, in the mid of 2028, we can able to find out. Any separate satellite also is going to launch for that, so that we can able to find out how much quantity and what is the quality of that also. For mining, already we are having. For this ocean also we are having a separate satellite, and for our communication also we are having the similar ways for solid waste management. How we can able to effectively use? First of all, our main problem is getting the data. We are not getting the proper data itself. That is the main problem. And where they are depositing, how they are depositing, how they are reusing. Nothing. We are just a gray area as far as India is concerned. And more or less that knowledge also is not there. So in order to find out a better solution, we want to depend upon the systems or a satellite-based system that may effectively use. Researchers are going on. I am also taking care of that. But in future, we can able to find out a better solution for. Right now, it's still in a pipeline only. We are not able to still reach it out to the correct position. In future, in 2030 itself, we can able to find out how much of debris have been deposited in and around Delhi. That we can able to quite possible. And where it is there, and how much extent it is there, that also we can able to find out.
Thank you, Mr. Rajesh, for sharing your views. Coming back again to Rupali, a delegate asks, what are the alternatives for parking needed in high-rise buildings? In many projects in Mumbai, why do we see less parking provisions than actual sale needs?
So, whenever we are talking about parking, yes, obviously, how we mentioned the land, we have less land available, so everyone want to make good use for the residential development, and the parking is always considered as secondary. But yes, with new systems, we are going for parking towers, then puzzle parking, basement parkings are the ways for it.
Thank you, Rupali, for sharing your views. Mr. Rajasekar, how can C&D waste be effectively used for tall buildings and vertical constructions? How far will this compromise the durability of structure?
As far as tall building is concerned, we can't able to take any chance. In a tall building, when developing a very big building, in and around, we can able to the amenity areas where this common place is there, where this office buildings, then park area, or common toilets, or boundary walls, and the paver blocks where the parking base is there, wherever this pedestal path, there and all we can able to effectively use. What are the waste generated while constructing that high-rise building? Some definitely around 2 to 3% of quantity will be generated. Waste will be generated. That generated, we can put a small batching plant inside the site itself. So we can able to once again restructure into the natural aggregate we can use. We can't able to take any chance for a tall structure building. We can't able to take any chance.
Sure. This will surely have an immense impact on carbon footprints as well.
Definitely.
Right. Thank you, Mr. Rajasekar. Coming to Mr. Hemant, how does the embodiment of technologies assist in making modern cities smarter?
Modern technologies, I would say, have always played an important role in the development of construction activities and future cities. Remember, future cities, the most important part of any city is the living space. And when you are talking about future-proof spaces, quick adoption, effective adoption of such latest technologies and conglomerate or hybridization of these technologies put together to effect into a synergetic development will help in creating not only smarter cities, we have to move ahead of smarter cities, we have to go to wiser cities, because we have to hit a balance between environment, humans, space, and available resources. So it's not just a question of smart city, it is a question of how we approach to get wiser cities. Thank you.
Very true, sir. We are seeing technology touching every aspect of our life today. Good to hear your views, Mr. Hemant. So coming to Mr. Rajasekar, recycling concrete is still costlier in India. How far can the usage of recycled construction waste reduce new construction costs?
I can able to ask one question. Can we able to make one mountain? Whether it is possible for us, we have to save it. We have to save it not for present, for future generation. I'm not talking about this not to use it. I'm requesting to replace with some quantity. Definitely, once only 1% of the quantity is getting recycled. When we started to recycle more quantity, definitely demand will rise. At the time, this cost also will get reduced.
I understand we cannot go further without looking at the recycling technologies in construction.
More startup companies are there. They are ready to do it, and government also is supporting for them. And we people have construction people also have to support them. Our own people.
Right. Thank you, Mr. Rajasekar. My next question is to Mr. Hemant. Whether the growth of technology will indeed transform the way we build the future city. Can you give some glimpses of how the future will be with technology-enabled future buildings?
Certainly, it's just a prediction, but you can see the trend, and that trend is very positive. For the past, if we study the civilization, it has been observed and it can be studied and concluded that technologies are the drivers. Hence, even the future built space, starting from homes to infrastructure, will be affected very much, more or less very much, by such technologies. For example, we are just talking right now about construction waste, right? The future technology in construction waste is a self-healing bioremedial pre-treatment to be done to such C&D waste that it will make this C&D waste usable in structural applications. So this kind of innovative approaches are being done. Only thing, it will take a little bit more time, maybe 1 or 2 years to get it on board mass scale production. But here there is an example which stipulates, proves that there is hope and we can depend on these technologies. The one that we manufacture in Pune is also a technology for the future and the present, and it can be also be advanced to cater to the futuristic building. Remember, we are not supposed to build only on Earth. In the near future, in coming 50 years, we'll be required to build on extraterrestrial planets as well, and that would demand completely out of the box technology. Thanks.
Thank you, Mr. Hemant. This was very informative. So that was my last question. Thank you, Hemant. It was a very informative submission, and it is my privilege to host this discussion today. Thank you very much for accepting our request to be with us today. Since the time is up for closing, I request Anshul to conclude the session. Thank you.
Thank you, panelists, for exchanging your valuable thoughts on today's topic, making high-rises future-proof. We hope you have enjoyed it. Before wrapping up today's session, we would like to thank our distinguished panelists Ms. Rupali, Ms. C.R. Rajasekar, Dr. Hemant Dhonde. For viewers who have joined us today, we would like to have your feedback and encourage you to stay connected with us via our social media handles. ACE Update is available on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You can also download our app from Google Play and App Store. We would also request our viewers to stay tuned for future interactions. With that, today's interaction has now come to a close. Thank you and goodbye.